Here we are with Tom Sanchez, who is now, how many weeks into Technicity are you? One or two?
We are starting the third week tomorrow. Yeah,
So halfway through.
yeah. So, but we went 5 weeks. We had one preview week, and so starting our so we've finished our first 2 weeks of the course. So starting the third week of the actual course content.
So all of us want to know, how's it going?
It's going great. And I think the preview week that we had helped us out a lot to kind of, give us a bit of test drive, have some students look at things, point out some things that didn't seem, real clear, just in terms of navigation of the course, and they needed some clarification on instructions and just some idea on what the flow of the course was going to be. But it's gone real well. Kind of one of the things that we faced, though, is that when we have gotten, and fortunately it's actually been very few, but harsh criticisms about the course, it's hard to remember that that's one or two people out of thousands. So it's not like our typical course of having 20 people in the class or 30 people in the class and having a couple of people complain, when it's like, oh, okay, well, I think we need to change things up here. We're hearing one or two from 5, 6, 7,000, that are taking the course, and so I think we've been doing a great job of responding to the students' requests and suggestions, especially given the numbers that we're working with. Had some great compliments. So really, overall, it's gone very well.
So you had a little over 17,000, I guess, at launch?
We had about 18,200. Yeah, we had some sign-ups there in the last couple of weeks. I think the last week was about 1,700 or 1,800 sign-ups. People just thought, hey, I want to learn about cities and technology.
How many people do you have in there now?
The last count I saw on active participation was about 8,000, and we just had our first assignment was due this week, and we got about 1,200. So
So far the MOOC proportions are pretty much holding steady for you too.
Yeah, are holding steady, and the participation that we saw, like I said, the 5, 6, 7,000 of people watching the lectures, we were pretty pleased with that. But then we were interested to see, okay, now that they have to spend a few hours outside of viewing the course videos, what's going to happen? I think we've put together some fairly challenging assignments, and so I think getting through the course, is going to take some work. So we set that up intentionally. Part of it too is, as you know, with the course being 4 weeks, it's much more intensive than the normal 10, 15, 16 week class, and we've heard that comment from a few students is, kind of wish there was more time. We said, yeah, we knew that. We're experimenting, and we are fitting this into Ohio State's Maymester, and so we realized that, and maybe next time through we spread it out over a longer period of time.
So what would you say has been the most delightful or pleasant or enjoyable aspect of the course for you so far?
I think the engagement. We're using a kind of outside of Coursera. We're using a community involvement, public engagement tool, Mind Mixer, and the activity there has been amazing. We've had. I looked at it yesterday. I think we've had 25,000 comments in our discussion forums going on. We've run a few polls and a few contests. We're having a T-shirt contest right now for Technicity, and I think there have been it's been like 100 submissions, and I think page views were probably up around. Last I saw it was about 200,000 page views. So just the level of activity, and I think the fun part about it is it's a lot of idea submission. So it's not just the people liking other comments, but they're actually kind of taking course content and kind of generating their own ideas off of that, and or responding to other ideas from other students. So just that level of engagement has been great, and we've got some good feedback on using that tool for the class.
What would you say has been the biggest challenge or the biggest disappointment for you so far?
I think the challenge is just wanting to just being able to keep up, because we've got when you're getting comments back from thousands of students, and now we've just had 1,200 assignments turned in. Kind of it's like we're interested in seeing all those, but it's impossible. There's no way we can do that. There's no way, and so the team we've kind of broken up a bit to monitor some of the different social media platforms that we're using. But it's like you kind of feel like you're missing out on something if you're really not reading all of the comments like you would for the most part in a traditional class. But we haven't gotten any negative feedback from students saying, hey, I submitted a comment and nobody said anything to me. I think they realized that the scale of the class means that a lot of that discussion that's going on is among their peers. Although we've been pretty active, so I think it's a bit. So the challenge has been kind of that overwhelming part of the scale of all of it, and trying to keep up with that.
What would you say has been your biggest surprise? Anything that you hadn't anticipated that and it could be good or bad.
Yeah. Biggest surprise that we pulled it off. No, it was really a lot of work, and especially thinking through all the moving parts of the class when it's the lectures, it's the in video quizzes, it's the discussion forums, it's responding to issues that people are having with with Coursera platform or other things that were that it all came together, and I think a really big part of that had to do with the support that we got putting it together.
One of the things that we tried to do here to help prepare for that, since we're not really part of Coursera, we're not a partner, but we wanted to support you as well as we could, was a distributed video production system with student labor that was not necessarily centralized, but used a number of different affordances to put together the videos for you. In retrospect, how did that work for you? And I'm not fishing for compliments.
Right.
I really, like to, because other folks may find that they are going to be doing this, kind of on a shoestring as well.
That was essential. There would be no way for me to pull it off. And to be honest with you, at the very beginning, I thought, hey, I'm going to be able to set up I'll be able to set up a camera, and capture, whatever introductions I need, that I needed to make for the different lectures or any of the transitions that we had. And then because we're using a lot of guest presentations, I thought, well, I'll be able to edit, way beyond my capacities. And so, being able to have the support of people, that know how to work with video and know how to make it look good and kind of, just know how to use the tools was invaluable. It would have been impossible otherwise.
Well, and we'll put the explanation up on the blog site when we post these videos, but I mean, as you know, what we did was essentially issue a call for student workers, and I worked with Jennifer Sparrow in innovation space. She had some folks who were already doing some video editing, but we needed more, and we needed to do it in a way that would let students do it when they wanted, where they wanted, and so we put together a distributed production system made of Dropbox, you putting the materials up with instructions on how to edit it. And a lot of that, I never heard anything and assumed that it was all working, but apparently the students were able to take the instructions, take the cues, and do the work, put it back, and then you had what you needed pretty much. I mean, did it work that well?
It worked perfect. The reason why you didn't hear anything about it was because it went so well. The students were very responsive, so whenever I posted some of the video lectures up there, it was somebody signed up for it. That almost seemed, you know, instantaneously, and then I provided some instructions on whatever kind of editing needed to be done, and it happened great. It was a great system. You know, just being able to drop something in and say, here's what needs to be done, and then it kind of happened in the black box, and I got what I wanted back out of it. You know, really in a timely way. So it worked. I couldn't have asked for anything more.